Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. All those that are invisible are filled by Brahman. All those that are visible are also fully permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman is still full, although the whole universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are in the reading of the Shwetashwatara Upanishad, and we are in the reading on the chapter 6, and today we'll read the verse number 5. So what we read in these first few verses last, we came to know the Upanishad started with this very fundamental question: where this universe come from? What is this? Who is behind it? Who created it? How it is maintained? What is its nature? Like those are the, some say it is time, it has, creation has come in time. Some say there may be some cause. There may be some say Brahman. So all these diverse things, and what is really the cause of this creation, this wonderful universe, which is all goods and all these beauties and also non-charming and charming things in this world, who have created? So that was the beginning question, and this chapter, sixth chapter, also starts with that very question. Some deluded thinkers speak that this creation is done by nature, very natural. They say, why to bring God here? It is happening in nature. The trees are growing by nature. Trees nature to grow. Birds are flying. Birds nature is to fly. So simple solution is that. Some say that nature, some other say time. As forces revolves this wheel of some say it is some forces are there which is behind this movement of everything. But really all this is only the glory of God. This sage says it is nothing but it is the glory of God manifested in the world. So whatever you see in the world, it is God's Lord's glory. Then in second verse we read, it should be known that energy assumes various forms, the same energy potentially, and it manifests in various forms as the five elements: water, earth, light, air, and space, whose by at the command, the great command of comes from God, who is the master of all the gunas, three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas qualities. By his who makes time. God has created the time. It is not you and me. That grand master planner. So he is the creator of time, who is everywhere, omniscient. After creation, he didn't go away. Like a painter paints and painter is no more found, the person is not found. But here, the world painting has been done and he has entered into it. So it is omniscient and with pure consciousness itself, and by whom all this is ever enveloped. That is that energy has become, God has become the universe, or becomes, it is He, it is nothing but that reality. Third verse we read, after setting the creation, now He set in motion this creation and withdrawing Himself from it. He creates and withdraws also. It's called the evolution and involution. It comes from Him and He evolves as this universe and withdraws with Him. So it's involves. So after setting the creation in motion and withdrawing Himself from it, He unites the principles of spirit with the principle of matter. That means This whole world appears like matter and spirit. You see, this is called matter. Air, water, fire, these are matter. But who animates them? The spirit. So spirit, it appear one was there, it split into two aspects as it were, commander, creator, and he creating this, he is actually created two things. One is called matter and another is called the spirit or consciousness. In Sanskrit we call chit jara granthi. Granthi means the knot. You tie a knot of two things. One is consciousness, chit, and another is jara, the matter. By the force of consciousness, this matter appears to be conscious, which is permeated into it, so it appears to be. So, though the mere and he unites the principles of spirit with the principle of matter. With one, what was the one? One is the ignorance, he created ignorance. With the two, after creating this ignorance, then in our mind, what is right, what is wrong, dharma, adharma, that is two. And then he created the three bodies to experience, the gross body, subtle body, and causal body. And then the eight means the eightfold nature, as the five elements, air, water, fire, etc. Five. Then mind and intellect, 6, 7, and ego, 8. So, this is saying the master planner, the designer, chief designer, who is called God, what has created this and created the knot. That's why we don't see consciousness, we see the matter. Behind the matter is that consciousness. That consciousness we don't see. It has become a knot and a confusion. Out of that confusion, what has he created this? First, he created one. One means the ignorance. He created in us. Created us. See, we are all mixture of chit and jara. Consciousness and matter. Material part, the bones, marrows, these, that, made of air, water, fire, what we eat, what we drink, all this, the space, breathing, air, all these have constituted what is this body. So he created this body, but it's a functional. So you see that function is coming from what? It is conscious. That's why I am conscious. You are not conscious. There is some consciousness added to the five elements, and then the machine is working. But there is somebody to start the engine, somebody who is there running the show. That consciousness is permeated everywhere. And by that, what product came? First came ignorance. I forgot that I am a mixed product of consciousness. It is the philosophy of Sankhya. Sankhya philosophy says Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is jara, inert, matter. And Purusha is consciousness. And Prakriti is jara. Jara, and they give the example, in the oven, in a cooking pot, you put water, you put rice, or potato, or whatever you put, and it remains the same. It is jara. It cannot make a food. But you put the consciousness, heat, turn the heat. Heat percolates into every pore of all these things. Then you say, oh, my finger is getting burned. Hot. Are you hot? Water can burn your finger. Water has been in the consciousness, or fire has entered into the water. That's water becomes. You take out the fire, water is water. So the five elements, this body is a dead body. It's only matter. But when connected with the consciousness, my hand is moving, my eyes are seeing, I am talking, blah, 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 blah. All this is happening. It is matter, jara, connected with the chit jara. That's a Sankhya philosophy. So that's why, and we don't see the consciousness at all. When most of the people don't remember how is cooking going on, but the heat is the major important point. The flame is the point behind the fire. The consciousness is substituted by chit, and jara is the five element. And that created me. And as a result, what am I now? First, I am an ignorant guy. I do not know. The consciousness is in me. That is driving force. I do not know. I think my consciousness, my ego consciousness, that is coming because of ignorance. First point, we are deluded ignorance. As ignorance, then two, they call dharma and adharma. As soon as my ignorance comes, I come, and I is good or bad. It is auspicious, inauspicious. It is my righteous action or unrighteous action. This type of buddhi comes, intellect. And then comes there's a technical language, three bodies. Then we get, instantly we get three bodies. See, now in the gross body, this is my body, I understand now. When you dream, you forget about this body. That dream body becomes your body. Undeniable truth, is it not? All of our experience. All of us in the dream experience a body which is not this body. This subtle body, that's why it's called subtle body. And when subtle body also does not function, then you remain in a causal body, in the deep sleep state. You are there, you feel that I am. But at that point, you have no idea of anything else, even for yourself. This I now talking, that I, when the body mind complex is gone. In the subtle body, in the dream, that also gone. But you don't die, there remains some consciousness. It's called the causal body, the ego body. So this is the three. Production of consciousness and jara, mixing, creating ignorance, then creating the idea of righteousness, unrighteousness, what is the principle, good or bad, dharma, righteous activity, auspicious, inauspicious, all these feelings are coming. And then how do you do that? Through the three bodies. Gross body, subtle body, causal body. And then it's an eight. Eight is the nature, eightfold aspect of the nature. What are those? Five elements, air, water, fire, etc. Five elements. And the mind, intellect, and ego. So these are the constituents. So it says through the mere instrumentality of time. How it happens? In time it happens. It becomes grosser, this body becomes gross and gross and gross, and then comes out into the earth from mother's womb, and then it grows. So these are the eight objects. Through the mere instrumentality in time it is happening. And how it is happening? With our inherent properties, means in our inherent tendencies. Someone is born with a noble tendency, he manifests their nobility in it. Someone born with a negative mentality, that person grows as a rogue in the society. So all this diversity is happening because of this. So we have read up to that. And now the fourth verse also we read. He gives the start to creation associated with the three gunas of nature. So he, the creator God, then gives the start to the creation, that creation which is associated with the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, and orders all these things and make everything permeated with the three gunas. The whole universe is individual soul. Everyone is sattika person, rajasa person, tamasa person. Sattika cat, rajasika cat, tamasika cat. Sattika dog, rajasika dog, tamasika dog. You find there are some dogs you can find how they're soft and sober and loyal. And some are gaga, some are just jump and run and follow. So these are all three gunas acting in different levels. In every creation, we can find it. Some flowers are beautiful, fragrant flower. Some flower you smell is poisonous. Some is touching your body, it will start itching. So three gunas, the whole world is made of the three gunas. Again, in the absence of the gunas, so when he is functioning in this way, the three gunas are working everywhere. But sometimes it happens, he is the creator, plays through the three gunas, sometimes he withdraws. Then what happens? As the last fourth verse we read, again in the absence of the gunas, he destroys the creative objects. When the three gunas are withdrawn, what happens? The entire creation collapses. That's why it is Vedanta says, Maya is what? Maya is the three gunas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. This plus permutation and combination is this creation. When the three gunas are not there, that's why Vedanta, Brahman is called beyond gunas, beyond qualities. Gunatita. Good. Trigunatita. That's why our Swami's name was Trigunatita Ananda. Understand? Three gunas, as you are talking, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Guna Otita, beyond. And not only Otita, he is establishing the bliss of that beyond state of gunas. So, state of being, he remains in his own calm, divine mood. So, sometimes he plays. That's why Ramakrishna said, it's God's play going on. Mother is playing. Sometimes he likes to sport. Some devotee asked the question, why this world? Why so much suffering? Ramakrishna simply says, Mother. It's mother's wish. Mother wants to these three gunas. Sometimes she is engaged, acting using these powers of the three gunas. And sometimes she does not want to do anything. Calm. She becomes Shiva. And when active, she becomes Kali. Dancing, destruction, creation, sustenance, all these three aspects. That's why Chondi says the three aspects. Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Maha Saraswati. Three aspects. And when it is not that, she is Shiva. So Shiva and Shakti, this is Shakti. So this idea is given here. And Karmakshaya, when these three gunas are gone, and this karma, destruction karma. What is the karma of God? Creation is karma. Maintenance is a karma. Destruction is a karma. So she stops functioning. So destroys all the karma and then remains back to, that is a state of absolute non-dual reality. But there is no creator, no creation, no you, no me, no sun, no moon, no stars. That's the Vedantic concept. They are beyond all really. Satchida, Chidananda, Rupa. That is that. And that is called the Shiva. So that much we read. Now today we'll be reading verse number 5. Adi sa samyoga, Adi sa samyoga, nimitta hetu, nimitta hetu, parastrikalat, parastrikalat, kalopi drishtaha, kalopi drishtaha, tang vishwarupam, bhavabhutamidam, bhavabhutamidam, devam sachitta, tam upasta purvam, tam upasta purvam. Okay, so again. Adi sa samyoga, Adi sa samyoga, nimitta hetuhu, nimitta hetuhi, para trikalat, kalopi drishta, tang vishwarupam, bhavabhutamidam, Devam Sachittastha Upasya Purvam. So what does it mean? Tam, that Lord God, Vishwarupam, who appears as this form of this entire universe, Vishwarupam, Bhavabhutam, who is the true source of all creatures. Bhutam is created objects of the universe. So is the cause of all these created appearances. Idam, adorable. We have to adore that. Then what we see everything, we see God. That is the Devam, that divine who has percolated everywhere after creation. So it is he or she, you can say, all the consciousness. So it is to be adored, adorable. That God, Sachittastham, who is seated in our hearts. Again, practical solution. Where to find God? Find God outside? Yes, but it will not happen. You have to see first here. Unless you have in your eyeglass the color is changed, world to Jara to Chetan, matter to spirit, that does not transformation does not happen here. Outside will not change. First to be changing here. That's why Ramakrishna did the sadhana, withdrawing, and working on the mind and mind and mind only. External world becomes unnecessary and is a botheration for him. So sadhana, the spiritual practice, that's why we pay attention to draw within. Sachittastam, because here is God's presence most palpable. God is everywhere, but the feeling center, experiencing center is all heart. Everyone we feel the joy or the suffering or the pleasure or the pain or the anxiety. All feeling center is the heart. So that's why Upanishad says, Sachittastam, seated in one's own heart. Purvam Passo, you have to meditate earlier, to meditate on that. So Adi, that is the earlier, primeval. Samyoga Nimitta is the cause of union. Samyoga Nimitta, cause of union. Trikala Paro, which is the transcendental reality beyond the times of three divisions. Time is divided into three. What is the time division?
Past, present, future.
Past, present, future. So these three divisions of time is absent there. In your self-consciousness, in the infinite consciousness, there is no time. Time is when you are in ignorance. So you meditate that reality which is the beyond three gunas and beyond the three understanding about time, past, present, and future. Trikala Paraha, transcending the three divisions of time. Akala means meditate on that reality which is kala. Kala means part, which is beyond, there is no partless reality. Brahman has no part. The world has a part. You can divide. Because in duality you can divide. In the absolute, how will you divide? If there is one without a second, then how can you, who will divide? How will you divide? The concept of division cannot come in that absolute oneness. So that's why it is partless, even then it is perceived. Though we perceive this in this universe, but it is only one. So what does it mean? Means by previously meditating as seated in one's own heart, as previously we have already book have talked about meditation of the truth in your heart, by meditating as the divine entity seated in your heart on that adorable being we call Ramakrishna, we call Kali, Krishna, Shiva, whatever, who is adorable, respectable. Or you can think of the formless aspect of Satchidananda, ocean of Satchidananda, which is adorable, that truth, who appears now. That is not limited, it is not like a dot. It is dot infinite. This dot is connected with the cosmic dot. All one. So that adorable who you are meditating in your heart, that reality permeates the whole universe. And who is the true source of all creatures. From him comes all creation. So that reality, consciousness in your heart, which you meditated previously, and now to see that it is all creation has come out of that. And therefore, he is the source of all creatures. He can be perceived even though he is primeval cause of the union of spirit and mind. It can be realized in this life. It can be realized, that truth, as well as the partless entity transcending the three divisions of time. That means you can meditate on that who permeates everywhere in your inner core of your heart and that see and experience that consciousness is permeating everything beyond time and beyond space, beyond the three divisions. Three divisions means these three gunas. So there is a note, let us read the note that will clarify a little bit more. The purpose of the mantra seems to be to stress the cosmic grandeur of the deity as well as his uniqueness as the transcendent and the absolute. So this fifth verse, what we're reading today, its main objective is to mantra seems to be to stress on what? The cosmic grandeur of the deity. The whole universe, look at that. Ramakrishna used to say that one Swami, one wandering monk came to Dakshineshwar. He was just meditating whole day in his own chamber. It's an example of this. Meditating in his own chamber. And in the morning, early morning, he will come out and clap his hand, looking at the sun, moon, rising sun, and beautiful. Kaisa sundar jagat banaya. Oh, what a grand creation has been created by the Lord. And glorifying the grandeur of the beauty of creation. In the evening and in the morning time, he used to come out of his own cave or meditating place. So this is the point. To see the whole world is a what a beautiful manifestation. God has manifested himself, as it were, in all these diverse objects that we see. So, grandeur of the deity, as well as his uniqueness as the transcendent and absolute. Because when he closes the eyes, he sees that this is the infinite ocean of light and consciousness. It is transcending the time space condition and transcending all duality. And then again, with the eyes open, he sees that whole universe is permeated. What a grand glory is revealing through our objective universe, and we are seeing through the eyes. See the glory, not the world. Don't thank the flower. Thank the God, Lord who created it. Dualistic language I'm using now. You can see it is all Satchidananda manifesting before you. Why do you term the flower is good? Flower is not good. Behind the flower is that consciousness. Okay, that not. So try to see that way and see the transcendental reality in the object of the universe. That's why it is said it is dual practice. One diving deep and with the eyes open. Ramakrishna says, is your God there when you close your eyes and try to feel it here? And when you open your eyes, it's gone. What type of sadhana is this? It should be balanced. It should be bridged together. What I see inside, the same reality is manifesting before me in this form. It's called what a grand practice and what a joyful practice. One can look at the world and see the glory of God and thank God everywhere. Wow, wow, wow. Huh? We thank a person. Someone is expressing something with a very beautiful way. I say, oh, what a great lecture. No, thank the glory of God. You see, a person is very beautiful performance done in music at the time. Oh, what is the man? No, it is God's glory. Look at the glory of God wherever you find anything special. Your drum beating, beautiful drum beating. No, it is God's glory. So to see like that, anything we see, we can appreciate. We can say, wow, what's God's glory? God's glory. That means mind is going to that fundamental consciousness, which has appeared in this world. No, there's a practical application. It is not a theory. Spirituality is theory for most of the people. And what is the religion? Shall I pour the water on my left hand or on the right hand? Or shall I do 10 times bending down and up? Or I shall prostrate lying like that? What you have to do? Are you eating vegetarian food? Are you eating onion today? Or this is our fasting today? We are very happy with this religion. But this religion is not the Upanishadic religion. Upanishadic religion to see the glory in everything, whatever is happening, even in the bad thing. Nothing bad in the world. It is God's play going on. What bad, what good? Another level. Seeing God in good thing is one way. When one transcends that level, then even there is anything they see, there is the glory of God. Ramakrishna, his hackney carriage is going through Calcutta streets and through the prostitute quarters. And they are in their half-naked dresses. But Ramakrishna put his head out and saluted. Ma, you are here in this form? Ma, see the point. It is God, God's glory. In diverse ways. In the way we are in the level, we should have to discriminate good and bad. Otherwise, you will make a mistake. Don't go to jump into that idea, everything is God. Then towards the beginning, you are in great difficulty. Everything is not God. Everything is good, bad is bad. But by deep spiritual practice, one understands that what is the truth inside me. And that same light, effulgent, self-conscious reality permeates the whole nature. And whole nature is His plan, His creation, and His glory. And that practice continues both ways, simultaneously inside and outside. Then a point will come, they will see even good and bad. There is all our mental creation. Go beyond mind. What is good, what is bad? When you sleep, what is good, what is bad? Deep sleep, judgment of honesty, dishonesty, good, bad, all collapse because there is no mind. Mind is still not dead, but mind is not functioning. But when the mind functions, naturally it is duality. But when mind functioning, can you transcend yourself to a level? Mind functioning, but I can see the underlying principle of the universe. That's a cosmic consciousness. It's a great, great sadhana. That 24 hours joyful. That's why they can live in joy all the time, in all conditions, because they see the oneness. That's the Upanishadic treatment. He who sees the one in the manifold. Ekastatha sarvabhutantaratma rupam pratirupa bhavuva. Ekastatha, one, that Kathopanishad says, that one absolute reality, ekastatha, sarvabhutantaratma, in the heart of every being, pulsating in the heart of every being. Sarvabhutantara. Rupam, in every form. One form, another form. Rupam. In the Bahishya, in the external universe, you see the same. The truth is very simple, but our mind does not get it because it is ignorance and it is steeped into the three gunas. So that's why they are suggesting that to see the grandeur of the Lord's glory everywhere. Wherever we see, whatever we see, it is the glory of the Lord. And at the same time, to emphasize, in spite of all that, He reveals Himself both in His personal and impersonal aspect in the heart of one who meditates on Him in true spirit. And what does it mean that by the one what we are meditating previously? Here the implication of the previous meditation is that the loving contemplation and worship of the deity is the necessary preliminary step for realizing Him both as the personal God with attributes and as the impersonal absolute. Here is very important point. As you meditated before, means spiritual life begins with trying to connect with God. When in our life, look at our life, when we are busy with the outside world, we didn't never care for God or anything. When we first get attracted, where do we go? We go to a church, you go to a temple. And what do you go? You kneel down before Christ. At the icon of Christ, cross, you kneel down there. You are personalizing the infinite glory of God and started your sadhana doing there. You people think that I don't care for worship of what is called the form of God. You are wrong. You are so inadequate to think of infinite. You are just talking only. You are a talker. You have not understood anything of spirituality. You cannot think of God. What infinite God you can think? As my common example I give. You close your eyes. God is infinite. Tell me, what do you think? 5 mile, 10 mile space, a dome, hemisphere. What do you think? Is your God this? Better it is a God in Hindu temple. God is smiling, gracious, compassionate. You go to this church, see Mother Mary standing there with compassion and love. See, you go and pray. This is common people. Forget about this. They don't know the Vedanta philosophy or any philosophy of any religion. Common people, how they, when they get suffering and problems of life, where they go? They go to Mother Mary and put lamp and prayer and this. It's a concretized form. The love of God is concretized in this form. And that I am not worshipping the idol, but I am worshipping whom? I am worshipping Mother, Divine Mother, or the compassionate side of the divine. So it's concretized. We cannot do any spiritual practice without this. That's why there is no saintly people grow there, where they only mistakenly take Nirakar or Nirgara. Nirakar, you cannot think of anything. You are too inadequate to, your mind is too inadequate to think about that glory of that. Therefore, as I say, it is not photo. Ramakrishna's photo is not photo for us. It reminds of God, the absolute. We keep I give the example, in our pocket we keep our, say maybe my mom's photo, my dad's photo, no? It's a paper, a piece of paper. It's photographic paper and printed there. So it is ink and photo, ink and paper. Oh, you say it is ink and paper, what is this value? Throw away? It is not ink and paper for you. It is a reminder of your real mother or your father. So these are the purpose. That's why here it is emphasizing. Implication is that the loving contemplation. You have to start your spiritual sadhana with loving contemplation of the form of God. You like whatever. Mother Mary, okay, you can Mother Kali may be there, your Christ may be there. You take some personalized, concretized, where I can feel palpably love of God. It has been either I know it or I read it or it is recorded, and there was spiritual sadhana starts from there. That's why I say previous means the implication is that the loving contemplation and worship, like we put flower, incense, wave. People think, what nonsense? A statue and they're waving incense. Hey, what nonsense? A photograph and they're weaving incense and offering flower and doing all these things. What nonsense going on? They don't understand the spirit of spiritual life. You cannot think of God, compassion, Satchidananda, Ananda, please, unless you have a concretized ideology before you, who represents that love, compassion, holiness, purity, joy, sacrifice, dedication, eh, redemption, all this power. concretized. That's why people have to bound to think of God with form at the beginning. Now you move on. God is only limited in your photograph. He is not everywhere. Then will comes next step. But people forget that take at the beginning step, putting the cart before the horse. Normally horse should be in the front, but cart should be in the back. And that's why spiritual, you see the religion, look at the world religion, who are focused on something concrete. Their spiritual progress has become faster. The Catholics, the early mystic, how many saints have been produced in Catholicism? In India, you go, how many mother worshipper, father worshipper, Shiva worshipper, how many saints? Saints are plethora of saints. You go, you can find every village one saint. Because they started the journey from there where they are. And when it is not understood properly and just jump, I am not saying that everyone is in the, we are so many people, we are not in the same level. You may be advanced. For you, it may be practice will benefit you thinking of the nameless absolute form. No? But I may not be. So to make everyone in the same level and push into the everyone in the same hole, it does not make any spiritual progress. It's a very important point that one should have to start in this life or in other. Hindus believe in previous life. Swami may say that he is advanced, but he has practiced in other life. Or in this very life, they have done much spiritual practice. Ramakrishna, he didn't start with the absolute non-dual. In this age, to teach us, start with where you are. You are a man, you are a limited person, limited view, catch someone which is limited, your eyes can see. You want beauty? Look at the beauty of Ramakrishna. You want to see the beauty? Look at the beauty of Mother Durga, face shining, glaring, peaceful, with eyes prolonged, as if full of love, compassion, pouring upon you. You feel that. Feel the hand, blessing, boon, protection, holding sword for me. I want that. This is symbolic of when you go to the Indian images of this worship, Mother is holding sword for you, for me, to protect me, giving me boon and blessing, compassion, love. That we need first. That's why spiritual sadhana previously to be done that. That's very deity is necessary. Preliminary steps for realizing Him. Then you can understand impersonal God with attribute and the impersonal God. The necessary mental fitness for jnana or realization of the absolute. And the identity of the lower self with it is born of loving worship and contemplation of the personality, maybe according to many great authorities, including Sri Ramakrishna, Bhagavad Gita. This very realization is bestowed on the devotees who wants it by the God of love out of his infinite grace. So, if you practice this way, then people say, Mother came to my dream, Mother blessed me, illumination comes, experience comes, joy comes, step by step movement moves on, and mind unfolds, unfolds, unfolds. And then you see what is here, that is there. So this is a very great guidance given here for real spiritual practice. And Sri Ramakrishna is a gross example before us. He has started with mother, 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 cried, wept. He didn't understand anything. He said, and he didn't go for philosophical discussion or anything. Simple faith. God is there and God is my mother. And take that formula and then cry and we, as much as we do, the mind gets concentrated and focused. And we see more and more joy comes, more and more connection with inner life starts. And then, and when it goes on, then your eyes open, we see gradually the love flows in the outside world also. That's a very important point. One spiritual person should judge whether I'm progressing or not. What is the sign of progression? According to Vedanta, not how long you sit for meditation or do the japa or rosary or what you do not matted lock or nothing will do that. Are you loving others? Are you becoming unselfish? Is your love extending, expanding? Are you seeing less fault with others? Sign of spirituality is unselfishness. This petty self will expand. You feel for others more. You are becoming selfish, you are in the wrong path. Something wrong. Your spiritual practice is going on, draining out somewhere. Ramakrishna gave the example that in the villages, people had the field for growing crops, and they have planted maybe rice paddy plants. But to water it, it's needed watering. And the man worked hard to pump. Nowadays, water pump is there, but people used to take bucket or make some arrangement to throw water into that area. And whole day he worked and found no water is sticking. Then first find out where is the hole going out. Your whole spiritual practice is not bringing any fruitfulness because you are not becoming unselfish. Somewhere hole is there. Block those holes. Because if you love here, that love will automatically flow outside. So this is very important factor. This verse says that you should have some background. People jump into Vedanta at the very beginning, but they never read what is the condition of who is the competent student. You want to get into PhD course, just you say, hey, I will be entering tomorrow. Hey, sir, take me into the PhD course. Are they show your certificate? What have you done before? So your prerequisites are there. Until you fulfill that requisite, they will not allow you to enter into the school. So in spiritual life also, unless you fulfill the precondition, how much unselfishness you are growing, how much love for God is happening, and how much you can see the reflection of God in this world, which is the glory of God. God is shining before me through your eyes. Is feeling presence of that before my eyes. So that I'm talking, it will spontaneously come in the feeling of one person. Then it is spiritual progress. So saguna to nirguna is good. It's a glide. It will glide automatically from the form and the qualities to formless and beyond all quality will happen spontaneously. It will glide. Not we are not to pull it every day by arguing and this and that, but it's spontaneous practice. So it is very important.
There are questions.
This so no, in other words, in the words of Sri Ramakrishna, this monastic realization is like a master placing a faithful and beloved servant on his own seat of authority. It is what is this experience of monastic experience, or I am that experience will come. It is like the father, you love the father, and father casually holds your hand and takes you, you are competent now, he puts you in his seat and he disappears. You become Atman, you become Brahman. But you start, father is different, son is different. Father and son. That's why in Christianity the idea, father and son. No one can go to the God without the son, son of the father. And then now this son will hold your hand and take you. You become so pure, then he'll put you into his own seat and he will disappear. You are the monarch. You are the Atman. You are the Brahman. You are the all-pervaded reality. A grand concept, how it blends. Look at that, how it blends. As we analyze it, how it, all the philosophies in secretly indicating the same truth that God, you become then your father. And father in you are not. I and my father are one. How it becomes. Christ said how it becomes. I is there, father is there. But I and my Father are one. This example, this language is very good. He's taking the son in the hand and seeing his competence. Now it is coronation of this son is going on, and fully satisfied. And when he's perfectly put, and the kings used to do, they put Sami Dasarath, eh? Rama's father was performing that coronation ceremony. What is that? He was saying, "You are now adult. You take charge of the kingdom." So the God's Lord's kingdom is in hand, no? So his father arranged everything to be coronation ceremony on the next day. He will be the king and he will retire. But here he retires. Symbolically here, the Lord God, he moved towards in the touch with the God, thinking of God with the personal person. And you reach a point and you see that father is gone, and you are also gone, only that what remains, the absolute non-dual reality, experience. So that is to be practiced. So this is our verse number 5. We have finished 5 minutes time. Let me read quickly and then I'll come to the question to see what the other Swami's explanation. Swami Lokesh Sharananda said, when a person does something, he does it within the framework of gunas. That is, he has some goal in view. No, fourth, fifth. He is the first cause. It is the ignorance that leads us to being born again and again, and he is the cause of the ignorance. He is beyond the past, present, and future. He is not part joined together, but he is a single whole. He is both the cause and the effect. He is the true object of worship. Meditate on that Lord as your own self. When you so meditate, you will attain ultimately liberation. Any attempt to describe Brahman is, of course, futile. No one can describe Brahman. Still, an attempt is made here. Brahman is called Adi, the root, the source, the first cause. Why is this we are born? Why do we have a body? It is because of ignorance. So we are reading this one. It is because of ignorance, avidya. And who gave us this avidya? Who is behind this maya? It is Brahman. Brahman is responsible for the good as well as the bad. And he is beyond the three times, past, present, and future. You cannot qualify him with the reference to some particular time, saying that he existed in such and such an age in the past, or he will exist at certain time in future. He is beyond time and also beyond space. Akala means without any part. He is always whole. It is not that he is made up of something, that he is composite object. For instance, blood, flesh, bones, all these together make a human body. Brahman is without any such part. It is undifferentiated. The word drishta literally means seen. Can we see Brahman? No. He cannot be seen with the eyes or experienced through any of the other senses. Brahman is realized through a transcendental experience. Unless you have the experience, you will never have any idea of what Brahman is like. But when you have the experience, then you know yourself. Everything is Brahman, every form is his form. Whatever you see around us, whether it is beautiful or ugly, he alone exists. He is the cause of existence. All things exist because he exists, and without him, nothing can exist. Bhutam means immutable, always the same, never unchanging, never changing. On the relative plane, things are constantly changing, but in the absolute plane, there is no change. Brahman is eternal, constant. Purvam means before self knowledge dawns, before you know yourself, meditate on him, worship him. Where will you meditate on him? He exists in the heart. That is to say, you and he are not different. By worshipping him within your heart, you feel that you are one with him. He is not outside but inside. When a priest worships an image, he prays, O Lord, You who dwell within me, please come out and stay in this image for a while so that I may worship you. And when the worship is over, he prays to the deity again to go back to his heart and remain there. The teacher also will tell you to meditate on God within yourself. You may choose whatever form of God appeals to you, but you must try to think of Him as being within you. Forget yourself and remember only Him. Slowly, your ego, your own self will disappear. You are only aware of God. You forget who you are. You forget that you have a body of your own. You feel you are the deity. So you become the deity. As the father putting in the altar in the throne, the son becomes the king. So he's saying you will feel that you are the deity. That's really the purpose. No, when we talk about think of God in your heart, facing the same way, what we say, because your deep contemplation will take you to a time when you will forget you are there. You feel that only the Lord, the eyes, ear, nose, it is not your anymore. It transformed into Ramakrishna. It transformed into Makali. When you are able to fix your mind completely on God, to the extent that you forget yourself entirely, then you experience what is called samadhi, or awareness of yourself, your senses of ego, your, everything is gone. There is only one consciousness, and that is of the deity or the Brahman. Shankara says you meditate on Bhakrito, the meaning of the word. That word, Bhakyartha. What does it mean? You mean it is not just any word, it is Mahavakya that is given by the teacher. That means when you meditate, you should not just meditate, you have to follow the mantra, what is given to you. And mantra has the potential power to unfold the reality. So it is Vedantic meditation. You say, I am that Mahavakya. When it is not just a word, it is Mahavakya given by the teacher. Thou art that. When you can fix your mind on this thought alone, you understand I am, aham, asmi, iti, I am that reality. There is no more he and I. He becomes I. Your own identity merges with that of the object of meditation, and you become completely dissolved as it were in Brahman. You no longer exist. There is only Brahman. So you die, you become Brahman. There is no thing to be transformed, no one to transform anything. But seeing the glory of the Lord outside and inside, that is the final achievement. So it's now to practice. That's our point. To practice every day, to see inside and to see outside. And also to be careful whether we are progressing or not. There must be some point where we are missing. That's why the truth is not manifesting. But if we are aware, then we can take care of the problems. That's why Raja Maharaj and others used to say, don't put too many questions. He used to say, to do what I have told you. Do it sincerely, then see what happens. And this is a really, spirituality is a tangible thing. It is, we are, because we don't practice, we don't get that intense touch of that joy. But it is a joy and it can be touched by simple meditation and prayer and other things. Serious, serious, serious. So, two questions have come. Sometimes we don't want to do something wrong voluntarily, but we are compelled to do it because certain wrong sanskaras are very strong in us. Do we commit sins in such cases where we do not want to do something wrong but are compelled to do? Yes, if we do something, I think it is a sin, but not that if you are not willing and you pray, we are under circumstances, we do, in realistic life, we sometimes fall in such a condition that we are helpless. I think when it is beyond my wish, that effect is less. Even the court case goes on in the eyes of the court. If you did it intentionally, you have killed somebody, intentional or unintentional, is it not? And there, judge gives less punishment, more punishment. Intention, but punishment is there because you did it. Karma has its effect. But unintentional and praying to God, oh Lord, please help me. I don't want to do this, but it is happening. So help me with this in sincerity. The sin means the negativity which comes in our mind, depression it comes, reaction comes, that will be less. According to Ramakrishna and Ma, what is the best way to repent for our sins and wrongdoings? Just say, oh Ma, it has happened, I won't do it. Very simple. Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, they are very not sophisticated people. They teach us very simple language. You tell, oh Ma, it has happened, I didn't want, but it has happened. Please help me. Just as simple as if you are talking to your own earthly mother. So in the presence, in her presence, you are just openly saying what a simple, be simple, and God is simple. Ramakrishna and Ma is simple. Okay, so we can end here today. If unless if there is any question.
What do you do for fear of shunya?
Hmm?
Fear of shunya.
Fear,
Fear, fear,
fear.
yeah, of shunya. The ego, it doesn't want to die.
Oh, so that ego of not going, we always fear, I shall die. That is the fear.
Yeah.
Oh, acha.
And like samadhi, the ego.
But that is, we do not know that. What is we are only talking about samadhi, we do not know. We are fearful if I do not know a place going and whether it is dangerous or but if you by your meditation, if you find every day joy and more joy, more joy, more joy, where will be the fear?
Well, in my meditations, I find the fear because it goes away and it's scary.
Yeah, that's why you have to practice pure meditation and prayer and simply bhakti, devotional prayer. And every meditation should lead us to joy and more joy and more joy. If I find joy and more joy, I will not be fearful. I feel that I am in certain protected area, joyful area, I will be going to nowhere. That's the fear. But spiritual practice will automatically unfold in us such realm of reality. Fear, no fear. Rather let it go early. I want to merge there in my eternal abode. Fear will not be there. Fear of the unknown. We always fear because of unknown. But this is not because you are knowing the truth more and more when you are practicing it. Say your guru has given you mantra, or you are practicing certain principle. So if you with that, if your mind gets absorbed, suppose a musician, just a gross example, a music practitioner, he does not know music, started their music. Towards the music, doing it is not joyful, it is not so much uh, inspiring. But when you really tune your voice and instrument, and then gradually your mind gets absorbed and absorbed, and then will that guy be fearful if his mind gets absorbed in music? No, because he's getting a taste of joy as the mind is moving into that unison. So, in anything, when you know it, joyful, cheerful, fear will not be there. It will automatically leave us. But at this point, you are theoretically, I will die. That's why I will die. Let I die. I dies every day, is it not? I dies every day in the sleep time. You're all wisdom, you're all knowledge, all your wealth, prosperity, all your grandeur, everything is gone. Do you cry? No. Rather, we are happy. I slept last night very well, isn't it? Thank you all. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Manamastu. So tomorrow we'll have gospel class and I will be there to be in the read the gospel. Thank you for coming. Jai Ma.
রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত আছে কেন রে দুয়ারটুকু